Hello class 8. Today in our geography class we will be doing the question answers of this chapter, that is composition and structure of the atmosphere. What I will do, children, I will dictate the questions and I will mark the answers in the textbook. Okay, I think that is going to help you out. So let us begin the class with the first question. So the first question is, what is atmosphere? Within the same question there is a subpart, that is, mention the composition of the atmosphere. I repeat, what is atmosphere? Mention the composition of the atmosphere. So answer for the first part, that is what is atmosphere, we will start writing from here and we will end up over here. Okay, so this is answer for the first part, that is what is atmosphere. And regarding the second part, that is composition of the atmosphere, it is better that we will only write whatever things are there in this chart or in this table. Okay, composition of the atmosphere. In one side the name of the gases are there, and in the other side the percentage of each gas has been given. So regarding the composition we have to write this one. Okay, now the next question. Briefly write about the role of the major gases present in the atmosphere. I repeat, briefly write about the role of the major gases present in the atmosphere. So here in this answer we will make three subheadings. One is nitrogen, excuse me, sorry. So in this answer, first we will write about nitrogen. We will make a subheading with nitrogen and we will write about nitrogen, the role of nitrogen present in the atmosphere. That is, nitrogen avoids quick burning. It is responsible for the pressure exerted by the atmosphere, the force of the winds and the reflection of light in the atmosphere. It does not easily chemically combine with other substances and is primarily a neutral substance. Second, we will write about oxygen. That is, oxygen is the basis of all life forms on this earth, as it is essential for respiration. It is highly active and combines with other elements in the process of oxidation. And we have to write about carbon dioxide. This is also a very important gas present in the atmosphere. But carbon dioxide, we need not have to write the full portion. I will mark how much you have to write. Carbon dioxide is of great importance, although it is present in a minuscule percentage. Minuscule percentage means very small percentage in the atmosphere. It has the ability to absorb terrestrial radiation and regulate the temperature of the earth. Regulate the temperature of the lower atmosphere. It is transparent to insolation and opaque to terrestrial radiation. It causes the greenhouse effect. So up to this much we have to write, that is, it is causing greenhouse effect. Okay, now the next question is, what is the importance of water vapor present in the atmosphere? I repeat, what is the importance of water vapor present in the atmosphere? So underwater vapor, the full portion we have to write, the whole portion, or the whole paragraph we have to write. That is, the average amount of water vapor is 2% of the atmosphere by volume. The percentage of the water vapor in the atmosphere varies from season to season. It decreases from equator towards the poles. The maximum amount of water vapor in the atmosphere occurs in the equatorial region, and it is 4% by volume. It helps to regulate and maintain the temperature of the lower atmosphere. by absorbing terrestrial radiation. It is very important. It is a very important component of hydrological cycle. So up to this much we have to write the role of water vapor within atmosphere. Now the next question that we have to write, that is what is hygroscopic nuclei? Okay, we will start writing from here. That is, there are different kinds of dust particles, for example pollen, ash, soot and dust from the fine topsoil and cosmic dust from the disintegrating meteors. These particles remain suspended in the air. Many of these microscopic solid particles act as hygroscopic nuclei. Okay, so here I will suggest children that after meteors you just put a comma. Instead of full stop, you put a comma after meteors and you continue the answer. Okay, here the water vapor condenses on these particles to form drop of rain. So up to this much we have to write, that is drop of rain. Okay, now I will suggest that you have to practice this diagram properly. Okay, if you have the textbook, please practice the diagram, or else I will take a picture of this diagram and I will put it in my video afterwards. Okay, so don't worry. If you don't have the textbook, please don't worry. I will put the photographs of the necessary diagrams in a video afterwards. Now the next question is, what is homosphere, or rather it should be define homosphere. That will be better. You write the question in this way, define homosphere. So the answer will be very small, that is up to a height of 80 km the chemical composition of the atmosphere is uniform if we consider the proportion of the constituent gases. This layer is known as the homosphere. So this is the answer for this question. Now the next question, discuss the composition of the heterosphere. Discuss the composition of the heterosphere. Okay, now we will start writing the answer like this. We will start the answer from here, the heterosphere, and we will cut the word it. The heterosphere lies. So what changes we have done? We have started the answer like this, the heterosphere, and we have cut the word it. So we are continuing the answer like this. The heterosphere lies 90 km above the Earth's surface. It consists of 4 gaseous layers. The lowermost layer is dominated by nitrogen molecules. Above 200 km lies the next layer, the atomic oxygen layer, dominated by the oxygen atoms. Between 1100 and 3500 km lies the helium layer, dominated by helium atoms. The uppermost layer is the atomic hydrogen layer. So we are ending the answer over here, that is atomic hydrogen layer. So the answer is up to this much only. Now the next question from this chapter is, briefly write about some of the features of troposphere. Briefly write about some of the features of troposphere. So we will begin the answer from here and we will write the first 2 features in our answer and we will end the answer over here. So I am dictating the whole answer, or rather I am reading the whole portion for you. The troposphere lies above the surface of the earth till an average height of 15 km, 8 km at the poles and 18 km at the equator. I suppose when I taught this chapter regarding the height, I have made some necessary changes. So if I have made any changes regarding the height, please write the answer accordingly. The air in this layer is the densest with 80% of the atmospheric mass, including water vapor and the dust particles. After writing up to this much, you have to change the paragraph and you have to write like this. In this layer, the temperature is related to the altitude. The temperature decreases with increasing altitude at a steady rate of 1 degree Celsius per 165 meter of ascent. This is known as normal lapse rate. All type of weather elements like rain, snow, sleet and hail occurs in this layer as it contains water vapor and dust particles. So this should be the answer. Now the next question. Discuss why the troposphere is known as a zone of turbulence. Discuss why the troposphere is known as the zone of turbulence. So the answer will be this portion only, that is the horizontal wind system on the earth's surface in conjunction with the vertical air currents transfers heat. Hence it generates a turbulent zone where intense mixing of hot and cold air occurs. Thus the troposphere is a zone of turbulence. So okay, so up to this much we have to write, that is, thus the troposphere is a zone of turbulence up to this much. Okay, now let us come to the next question. The next question is, write some of the unique features of stratosphere. Write some of the unique features of stratosphere. Okay, so we will start the answer from here, and regarding the features we will write the first three. Now let me see whether I can make it little bit shorter. The stratosphere extends to a height of 50 km and is marked by an increase in temperature with altitude. The stratosphere, here again you have to change the paragraph. The stratosphere does not contain water vapor and dust particles, hence there is an absence of turbulence and weather phenomena, and it is used for flying aircrafts. Next point, in the polar regions of the stratosphere, iridescent sheet-like clouds are observed. These are called polar stratospheric clouds. They are composed of crystalline compounds of water, nitric acid and sulfuric acid at a very cold temperature of minus 85 degrees Celsius at levels of 15 to 25 km. These clouds are harmful sites of stratospheric ozone destruction. Now the third point, this is a zone of inversion, hence with altitude the temperature rises. This is due to the presence of ozone in the stratosphere, which absorbs the solar radiation of wavelengths less than 290 nanometers, including ultraviolet radiation. So up to this much is our answer. Okay, so we have to write up to this much. Okay, now children, the next question. Okay, so the next question is, we will go to the next page and we will write something upon the ozone gas. So the question is, what is ozone? What is ozone? Discuss how it is formed. What is ozone, comma, discuss how it is formed. So the answer, we are going to start from here. Ozone is a triatomic form of oxygen. It forms due to the splitting of oxygen molecules by the high energy solar photons and the electric discharge during thunderstorms. The single oxygen atom recombines with oxygen molecule to form ozone. Okay. Ozone gas is bluish and pungent in higher concentrations. So up to this much we have to write, that is concentrations, up to this much. Now the next question. Discuss the main factors of ozone depletion. Okay. Discuss the main factors of ozone depletion. So we will start the answer like this, and we have to write the answer in separate paragraph in the form of points, that is point number 1, 2, like that. So the first point is, we are going to start the answer from here. A major cause of ozone depletion is the use of chlorofluorocarbons. They are used in things like refrigerators, air conditioners and spray cans. When CFC reach the stratospheres, they are broken down into chlorine atoms by the ultraviolet radiation. These atoms then react with ozone and convert them into oxygen. So this point we have to write up to oxygen only, not beyond that. Now the next point is the hydrocarbons which are released by the automobile exhausts and jet aircrafts can cause the depletion of the ozone layer. And the third point is the stratospheric clouds in the polar region are composed of crystalline compounds of water, nitric acid, sulfuric acid at a very cold temperature of -85 degrees Celsius, and it destroys the ozone in the stratosphere. So these 3 points we have to write, okay, regarding the answer of depletion of ozone layer. Now the next question, what is global warming? Discuss some of its effects. What is global warming? Discuss some of its effects. So what is global warming? We will start from here. The increase in the atmospheric carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases will increase the capacity of the atmosphere to trap more of the Earth's terrestrial radiation, and this will cause the average temperature of the Earth to rise. The rise in the temperature of the atmosphere is called global warming. So what is global warming? We will write up to this much only. Now some of the effects of global warming we will come over here. We have to write some of the effects, not all of them. So we will choose the first one, that is, it will lead to a rise in temperature, melting of ice sheets, the rising of the sea level, and the inundation of low-lying areas. Now we will also write the next point, it will cause severe floods and droughts in different parts of the world. This point also we will write. Now another point that we will write, that is this one, the spread of tropical diseases will increase due to changes in climatic conditions. Okay. And one more point we have to write, that is this one, warmer temperature will make it hard for animals like polar bear and penguins to survive. The coral reefs are also getting destroyed. So these 4 points within the effects of global warming we have to write. Now the last question from this chapter is, discuss how global warming is linked with greenhouse effect. Discuss how global warming is linked with greenhouse effect. So children, our answer is starting from here. I will read out the answer for you. Global warming is linked with the greenhouse effect, where short wave insolation passes through the atmosphere and is absorbed by the Earth's surface. The greenhouse gases present in the atmosphere, present in the troposphere, absorb the heat of the long wave terrestrial radiation. It increases the temperature of the atmosphere. The greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane are being released into the atmosphere. due to the utilization of fossil fuels at an increased rate. The massive increase of population, together with rapid urbanization and industrialization, is depleting or thinning the ozone layer and large ozone holes are being formed. So up to this much we have to write. So these are the question answers, important question answers from this chapter. I suppose now there will be no problem in studying. So if you wish, you can write down the question answers in your copy. That will be more convenient for you to read. Okay. In my next class, I will be doing the question answer of another chapter. So for the time being, please prepare yourself with the question answers of this chapter. Thank you.